Good morning, this is Dwayne, and we've talked a lot about left-hand chords. Chords that you play in your left hand while the melody is going on, various kinds of chords. Today I'd like to talk about right-hand chords, and I'd like to discuss 7 things you can do to right-hand chords. Interesting things, creative things. Of course, you can play a chord, that's obvious, but I'd like to talk about 7 things you can do that are a little different to that chord. First of all, I'd like to talk about a crunch. A crunch is where you play a chord, sometimes from the top down or the bottom up, but sometimes also by sliding off a black key like that. Let me do an octave lower. See, it gives a little punch to it. I call it a crunch. Another thing you can do is a 2-1 breakup. If you have a 3-note chord like the C chord or D chord or any kind of chord, let's take the C chord. You can play 2 notes and then 1, 2, 1. And then what you do is you invert it up or down, invert the chord upside down and play it 2, 1 there. 2, 1. You see, I'm just turning the chord upside down, inverting it, but I'm breaking it up in a 2, 1 fashion. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Like so, okay? And that can be used as a filler when you have a break in the action of the melody. If you have a 4-note chord, you can do a 3-1 breakup. Play the top 3 notes and the bottom 1. 3, 1. See that? 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, whatever the chord is. 3, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. You can do it in black keys, of course. 3, 1, 3, 1. See that? Any 3 notes, I mean, in a 4-note chord, just play the top 3 notes and the bottom 1. And you can invert it up or down. That's called a 3-1 breakup. And then you can do a straddle. A straddle is where you take, let's do a 3-note straddle. You take a chord like that, but you straddle the middle note, okay? You don't play it. And then you invert the chord up or down, and you also straddle that. You leave the middle note out of that. See, that's the C chord in root position. I'm leaving the middle note out. Then that's the C chord in the first inversion. I'm leaving the middle note out. Here's the C chord in the second inversion. I'm leaving the middle note out. Okay. See that? Okay, it's called a straddle. Now a 4-note straddle is where you have a 4-note chord, and you play two notes but leave 1 out. Okay, 2 and then 2. It's like a 2-2 breakup. I call it a straddle because you're straddling that middle key. Lots of uses for a straddle, okay? Take any 2 notes of a 4-note chord and leave 1 out and then straddle it. You might, if that's new to you, just take any chord like that's F major 7 and take those 2 notes and straddle 1 and then play the next 2 and just go back and forth so your hand gets a little memory of doing that, okay? Before you try to do anything else to it, okay? But that's a straddle. Now there's also a tremolo. A tremolo is where you have a rapid alternate. You can play any chord. I'm going to play it a little lower so it'll sound a little fuller. Take a chord like that. That's G ninth. And I can tremolo it. Tremolo is a rapid shaking of it. In the right hand, of course you can do it in the left hand while the right hand's playing the melody, and that can be effective at times. Now once you play a tremolo, you can also fire out of the tremolo. In other words, use it like a cannon. You're playing a tremolo and then break it up from the bottom and then go up to the next chord. I mean the same chord an octave higher, same chord an octave higher, same chord an octave higher. That's called a tremolo fired run. Listen. You can come back down too, of course, okay? You might just try it in 2 octaves at first. Let me do it very slowly. Okay, that's called a tremolo fired run. Then you can do what I call a waterfall. Take any you can do it with any chord, but I like 4-note chords. Let's take a C6 chord. And what you do is you break it down from the top and invert it down. See, that's a C6 chord. Now invert it down, upside down, break it up, come down like that. A lot of times you can use your left hand and key it into some other technique, though. You know, once you get down, you can do something else. They're helpful as introductions and a variety of things. But here, I'll do it slowly. In my left hand, I'm just illustrating what note my right hand is starting on, but an octave higher. See that? And you cascade it down. It's like a cascading waterfall. Well, there's 7 simple techniques that your right hand can use to make more variety in your chords. And of course, they all take a little practice to develop it, but they're very, very helpful. They're like tools in your toolbox, so you can use them in various songs that you play. So that's it for today. If you enjoy this kind of thing, come on over to playpiano.com and sign up for our free piano tips if you haven't already. And hope to see you there. Bye-bye for now.